So let's give it a little bit of time for people to join. I see that we have more and more people now joining as we speak. And with the people joining, I see also that more and more questions are coming in. Good morning, everyone. Good day. And hello, everyone. All right, we'll start right away with the Turnitin questions. Let's just maybe wait for 1 more minute and then I'll start with this AMA. Maybe before I start, if you hear some background noises in our office, there is some construction work at the moment, so I'm already apologizing if the sound is not easy to hear, but yeah, that's just a part of it. All right, and without further ado, let's start with this AMA session. Hello everyone again. My name is Alessandro De Carli, one of the co-founders over here. And let's get started with the question from the users Turnitin. So when is the Cloud Rebellion Season 4 going to end, and can we expect better rewards, especially for the top 10? So the Cloud Rebellion is actually coinciding in a cycle's terms with the launch of the mainnet, so you can expect that those two will coincide or be somewhat really closely synchronized. However, there will be also Season 5, so by no means this was the last season, and yeah, this will continue as well. It turns out that the Cloud Rebellion has been a very successful way for us to also interact and have engagement with people, so that's why we'll definitely be keeping that. And this goes as well right into the second question, is when the snapshot will be taken. Obviously that also goes with the it goes hand in hand with the closing of the season and then with the airdrop thereafter. And it's solely based on the mist balance, yes. The CACU balance is not something that is being looked at for this specific airdrop. Let's also not forget that CACU, there is a way to convert that to ACU, so that's how that part is covered. And then the question is whether a 200k mist balance from a single account will receive the same amount of airdrop compared to two separate accounts. Let me say a couple of things here. First of all, the whole distribution mechanic is not completely finalized, but obviously if for whatever reason you had two accounts, that shouldn't be a big issue. We will, however, be cleaning out all of the bots that are in the Cloud Rebellion. In case people have botted it, they will be removed and not be made eligible for the airdrop. All the others obviously will still be eligible. This is to make sure that it is completely fair and we achieve the goal that we have of distribution and also basically having real users that benefit from this. Then number 3, once TG mainnet, can staking rewards be fully claimed per epoch? Yes, they can. And can it be traded for exchange on the exchanges? Yes, they can. And they will not have cooldowns. That is correct. Then number 4, which hardware wallet can safely store ACU tokens while locking it for 3.7 years? What I really suggest here is that you take a look at an open source product called AirGap that allows you basically to upcycle an old smartphone and turn that into a self-custody solution, which gives you a very, very high level of security. And you basically have full integration with Acurast, because we know that team very, very well. So if you take a look at air gap, again, that is basically one of the solutions that we promote with the question of hardware wallets. Then there is a question regarding the conversion lock versus staking lock. Since I want a one-to-one conversion, okay, let me see what the question is. Question is, what cooldown should I select when staking the 100 ACU to meet the criteria above? So the cooldown for staking is unrelated to the actual conversion lock. This means that the cooldown, so if you want to get the maximum amount of rewards, you will need to go with the maximum amount of cooldowns. And if you want to have everything completely unlocked after 3.7 years, then you will need to start that cooldown so that it synchronizes with the 3.7 years. But bear in mind here that during cooldown, your weight is basically half. So yeah, that's just one of the things to consider here as well. Then another question is, will there be a difference to staking rewards if we decide not to stake our ACU directly with our compute commit and just self-delegate them? No, there is no difference in this case. The big difference is that if you have compute and if you are a committer, you are actually able to specify a fee which will allow you to gain ultimately more per ACU that you stake or commit. But if you are also the guy that is self-delegating, then it's basically two sides of the same coin on that side. The other thing to mention here, because I see that there's also a question around max cooldown, it's that the max cooldown set by the committer is, by definition, the maximum that a delegator can choose. So the delegator can go lower, but not higher than what the committer has set. This means that basically you have the same effect as if you would delegate, if you would commit yourself the full amount. The big difference is that committing yourself allows you to accept up to 9 times your amount in delegations, which is not the case if you self-delegate. All right, so those were some very interesting questions. Let me go further. I see that a lot of people are saying hello. Again, sorry for the background noise. There is some drilling going on. Gatsu, will Cloud Rebellion continue? Yes, we already mentioned that. Then Moby, why are the rewards so low in stake compute? In long term, for compute providers, it will not be enough to justify cost of infrastructure, and so on and so forth. The model that has been chosen for Acurast is a very similar model to how Bitcoin mining works. Namely, you have a fixed inflation, and this inflation is then being distributed to whoever is participating. If the rewards are too low, so there is no justification to run the infrastructure, what will happen is that people actually stop providing compute, but the people that stay will ultimately receive more rewards. And by choosing this design, we actually managed to achieve a very anti-fragile state where basically it's completely self-balancing regardless of where the rewards are, and yet the protocol has a fixed amount of rewards and not a overly high inflation. So that's basically how that mechanics works, Moby. So that's also sorted, the issue that you mentioned. Then Cubby Bear Smiles, for stake compute, do you earn higher rewards if you have a longer cooldown? Yes, you do. And for example, 1 hour cooldown has a way lower reward than a 2-day cooldown. Yes, absolutely. It's actually linear, right? So if you have, let's say, 1 day versus 2 day, the 2 day will give you double the amount of weight and hence double the amounts of rewards. So Moby cannot hear. I hope that it's working for the others. Let me just quickly check. Can someone tell me if it is working for everyone? Do people hear me? Okay, fine. Sorry. I just got a little bit insecure there and thought that if I'm having my monologue, it wouldn't be nice for you people then to just not hear anything about it. All right, then Glean Slava, please make the TG coming this December. That is a good move, not 2026. On this, we want to launch as soon as possible. We are ready on the technical side, so there is no other reason to delay this very long. So I believe that is also quite in line with what you're expressing there. Then Kuro, when we're doing the conversion rate with a maximum of 3.7, do we have some ACU mainnet for paying transaction fees? Yes, you do. You do. And also for the staking. Yes, absolutely. That has been already covered by the tech team. What you will end up with is basically 1 ACU of free balance to pay for all of these things. When can you claim the airdrop? The airdrop is claimable once the snapshot is basically taken. And the conversion ratio between the mist and the ACU basically depends on the amount of participants in the airdrop, because we have 10 million ACUs in that airdrop allocated for those people. All right, Carlicio, no worries, I forgive you guys if you give me an OG and VIP role for my Cloud Rebellion. Well, I believe that at the moment the badges are no longer active, but who knows, maybe some new badges will come up soon as well. All right, then the staking and how much gas fee does it take? Well, you will have enough balance at your disposal to actually do the staking with the amount that you're able to convert. The OG side of things, we already covered that as well with the roles. What you're able to do is actually claim more mist and participate more in the airdrop. So that's a thing to consider. Then there's 3 aces. When will mist holders get ACU? That coincides basically with the mainnet launch and TGE. So we need to wait a little longer, but not too long, I promise, on that side. Then many of us will be using new wallets in mainnet. Will we be able to change our Cloud Rebellion wallets and our profile as well? Yes, so what you can do already today is transfer CACU to other wallets. This has been enabled specifically so that people can set up and use the wallets that they want for the real deal and the mainnet. So that should be covered. Now for the Cloud Rebellion, I can bring up that feedback to the developers so that you would be able to connect also other wallets as well to that. Let me bring that up. I'm not sure whether they already took that into consideration. Then the minimum mist, more details on that will be shared shortly. I don't have all the details with me right now. That's also someone else on the team that is handling the whole Cloud Rebellion and ACU airdrop side of things. Then Axinus, has the staking reward mechanism been finalized, and is it set to remain unchanged? So that's a very good question, because we launched in beta a initial version, I believe 2 weeks ago or something like that, and already found out that a couple of the mechanics were not working the way we wanted. So last week a new way was actually released, which works way better. And with this new way, we solved all of the issues that we had with the very initial release. So I believe that this is now the real deal and will remain unchanged, unless there is a bigger issue that comes up and we need to change that. But I don't believe so, because now we're seeing a lot of stability in this new system. Will the cooldown, so Gatsu, new question, will the cooldown duration be the same as the chosen staking duration? So 1 year staking will be 1 year cooldown? No, that is not the case. You will have to deal with these two locks independently. And then also, if you want to have both finished at the same time, you need to synchronize them as well yourself. All right, then the minimum MIS to eligible, well, this already was asked. Okay, then there's again questions about the sound, but I see that people can hear perfectly as well. Yes, so another question from Lee. In the future, can we expect a block explorer or any way to view past transactions within the hub? So that's a very good question. We do have already 3 explorers that basically are already running on a staging environment and have not been released yet. But depending as well on your use case, so be it that you just want to see the transactions, or you want to understand better as well how to deploy stuff, or you want to understand better how to onboard more compute, depending on which person or persona you are, you will have more information on one of these exchanges. So yeah, definitely the Explorer is there and is ready to go, and will be released soon as well on that side, and not just one. Then the Henry TK27, hi Acurast team, after staking my CSU units for the initial epoch, I'm noticing negative signs in my compute staked after few epochs. Is this due to slashing for low benchmark score? All right, so the question here, so there's 2 things to mention here. There was a change in the stake compute, which was adapted also in the docs. So the docs are up to date and explain how it works in details. So that might be something to look at. But ultimately, if your processor is running something other than just Acurast on the same device, which you can do with Lite, but you cannot do with Core, then obviously you will be impacted on the benchmark score. So we've seen users that set up the device, have a high score, and are then able to stake maybe also more, and then let something else run in the background. If you do that, you will end up in a situation where basically you're not able to keep up with the same benchmark score, and you will get slashed. So the best possible way to not get slashed in this case is to make sure that the device benchmarks in the state that you want to leave it. So basically, if only Acurast is running, then that's fine. If you have 2 things running, then make sure to really take a look at the second thing, whether it's impacting Acurast or not. But yeah, and then once you commit to the compute, you need to make sure that you can hold it, and the slashing is very low and has been implemented as well to be very low on purpose, but so that ultimately, if you are able to run stable for 1 or 2 days, you're completely offsetting the slashing, right? But the way how you avoid it entirely is by having benchmarks that actually reflect the reality of the state of your device. All right, then what type of governance should we expect moving forward into mainnet? Well, we have quite a large community treasury, which is completely controlled by the token holders. That is something that I'm super excited about and will be activated on mainnet as well. So that is definitely something that goes into the governance category. The other stuff is as well updates of the network itself. Will also start requiring some governance votes, but also parameters. So, for instance, if we as a community feel that some of the parameters of the weighting of the reward pools need to be adapted so that it benefits the whole network, then those parameters can be changed with a governance vote. Yes. All right. A lot of stuff coming in. And just 7 minutes to go. So let me see here. Agent J. Wick, hi from New Zealand. Hi. I run a large mining fleet with mostly older iPhone and around 50 Android devices. After migrating my CACU to ACU, how will my device start earning ACU on mainnet? So there is a migration step that you will be able to trigger from your hub. So on hub.acurast.com, you will be able to then trigger the migration step from CACU to ACU, and then after that trigger, all of those devices will be mining on mainnet. And yes, the older iPhones will, just like it's running at the moment on the Canary net, also be running then on the mainnet. But one thing to notice here is that obviously the older iPhones will have a lower compute score, so I don't necessarily think that you need to calculate if maybe it's more convenient to go with more performant devices and then maybe less devices on that side. And so there is another question from Samnan Ksek. Can you compare pros and cons of state compute lock and the conversion lock? So these are two different locks, and the conversion lock is just something that is limited to the people that are coming from the Canary network. So it's not something that is there for also new users then on the main network. And the staked compute, on the other hand, is something that is open for everyone. The staked compute lock decides ultimately how much rewards you will get, because your weight depends on that specific lock. Then Lee, a huge part of the growth of the project is the TG, and I agree. If market conditions don't improve, will the team take the choice to move to mainnet anyway? That's an interesting question. What I want to say here is that ultimately we are not expecting to have a market with all-time highs and whatnot. We just saw that on Friday, when we had to decide a go or no go for the TGE, the whole sentiment in the market was really around this huge crash, and that would take away a lot of the mind share of Acurast, which we felt is not really fair for after all the work and everything that we've put in. So that's the reason why we push that further. We don't have the feeling that we are able to predict the future or anything like that. It's not that we will wait for all times high, as I said, but it was just this shock condition. Now we are pushing hard to make that TGE launch as soon as possible on that side. The continuously holdback of the TGE can damage the prospect of future committers and delegators by increasing canary net balances. Well, maybe, yes, but again, I don't think that this will make now a huge difference, because ultimately the parameters will be very similar now as they are on the mainnet. So if people want to join, they can join now. And then with mainnet launching, many of the parameters are actually going to be the same. Then Cubby Bear Smiles, what is the max cooldown for staking? For that, it's best if you head over to docs.acurast.com. There are a lot of details around all the various parameters. Marcus from our team has done a very good job in documenting that meticulously. I see that we are running out of time here with 2 more minutes to go. And wow, a lot of questions. Let me see if I can speed up here. The snapshot has not been taken yet. 3 aces. Legrock Mitten, let's see. Could you clarify Acurast's concrete operational structure? Including the real team behind the project. I mean, the real team behind the project you can see. Also, the association is registered in Zook. You can see who is behind that specifically. And yes, we do have a actual working office, as you can hear. It's not only us working here, but also some construction workers. And do we intend to publish financial reports to improve transparency? I think we've been always very transparent, to be honest. And if there is the need of such reports, we will definitely be open to do something like that. What concrete integration partners of real-world use cases are already live or confirmed on Acurast? Well, if you take, basically you can see what is being matched to your processors, and you cannot, however, tamper with the execution of it, or also see what kind of data they're dealing with. But what I can see and say is that we have a lot of demand coming from the web scraping side. So basically that, and I was not aware of this initially, but basically web scraping has been around for years, but it is now with AI that data collection and the ability for AI agents to use the web scraping capabilities have literally boomed, and is at an all-time high. And there is something that we're seeing a lot of demand coming from that side. But not only that, also more and more people utilizing Acurast for the confidential AI side of things. Turns out that the combination of this trusted execution environment with the capability of running large language models on these devices really is very well positioned for people. And the thing that motivates me the most is seeing random people actually build up stuff on Acurast, leveraging the compute offered. There is one gentleman that is currently working on something with Zcash, where they are leveraging consortiums of multiple Acurast devices that create a multi-party computation setup, and then offer that for all sorts of secure on-chain automation. Yes. And then the question is, could you share some tangible results or measurable adoption indicators? Well, look, just take a look at the network. It's really, really active. You can see all deployments there. It's all transparent and for you to be reviewed. And I think we covered all of those questions. Yes, so definitely not just theoretically. Roadmap, milestone, and very, very tangible use cases already on Acurast. And I believe that is one of the biggest strengths of Acurast, and what I find very motivating is actually whenever I see new use cases pop up of people deploying stuff that I was not even thinking about myself, or no one in the team, and those people are not even related to the team. So that is actually the thing that I really love about that. All right, so I see that we ran out of time now, and I will have, sadly, to finalize this AMA. Maybe I see one more question. Warbros, yes, the fixed amount of reward is dispersed among all committers and delegators. That's correct. So yes, your question is answered with a yes. Then the Canary account, that was correct. Okay, that sounds like an issue on. I mean, the other thing as well, if you have technical issues, by all means, reach out to the community people. They will be able to solve you. I will bring as well feedback from this session if I see something, but obviously we're very limited in time to go through all the questions. But yeah, let me see here. L9, are the transaction fees counted as protocol revenue, or what happens with them? Yes, transaction fees are completely burned. L9. So they are countering inflation actually. And is there a dashboard where we see if the token is deflationary or inflationary at a set point of time? Yes, Andreas from our side is working on that to also offer some more insightful metrics for everyone. All right. Now, thank you so much for listening in. I will close this AMA, although there are way more and more questions coming in here. There will be other AMAs. It's not the last one that we've done. And if you manage to ask your question early, I will also cover it like I did in this one. But now there is no more time to go through all of them. Let me just maybe also say that the team has really been working really hard to make everything possible for the launch today actually, but now we had to postpone for the reasons that have already been mentioned, but that does not mean that no new things will happen in between before the actual TG side. Very proud of this community and happy to be part of this community, and yeah, go ahead and maybe start also looking at deploying stuff on Acurast. I think we have a very unique network with unique capabilities. I think there is no other network that gives you the same level of security in a decentralized way. So I think that's really interesting. And the other thing is, if you're looking to onboard more devices, please do, because there is currently a shortage of supply of compute on the Acurast network. So yes. All right. Thank you and take care.